أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum, my brothers in Islam. Today is the 30th night of the month of Ramadan, which according to the customs of the Arabs, in advancing a night and a day, in counting dates and events, they will say fast of Ramadan. They will say fast of Ramadan because that is their custom. They call it Itbar al-Layali wa Itbar al-Nahar, because the day begins at night, for they must respect the night. It's just like the scholar saying the time of Friday prayer is the time of Zuhur prayer, but that is not technically what it is meant. So my brothers, in my last video, I mentioned a hadith 4912 narrated by Abu Dawud and used by Imam Ibn Hanbal, praising himself internally and outwardly that he is grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving him the opportunity, the time to revive the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. In his book, Musnad of Imam Ahmad, you will see around 28,000 hadith. There are also other books, or one or two he wrote. He wrote, as I wrote, on as-salat, on only two issues, ruku and sujood. I read the book. He said, after every century, Allah will raise from the Ummah someone who will guide that particular Ummah in their mother's tongue. He refers to himself. But in the Sharh of Abu Dawud, they mentioned some scholars, including Ashaba. They mentioned Umar ibn Khattab. This is Mawsu'ah Fiqh Umar ibn Khattab, 886 or 87 pages. I have read them. What is due? What is mandatory? Look at it, the reading, even this one has come off. That was the first reviver. The second one was mentioned in the book Imam Shafi'i. Look at his book. Look at everything torn. Everything torn because of the intensity in making references. You see? Look at it. The second believer, Muslim, sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to correct people. 2. The third one, Imam al-Ghazali, Ihya Ulumuddin. Look at it also. Torn because of references. You see? You see everywhere red, throughout. You see? 2. The third one, or the fourth one, Al-Khatib Baghdadi. Look at his book. Al-Faqih wal-Mutafaq. Al-Faqih wal-Mutafaq. So my brothers, what do you consider me to be? If these have been agreed that Allah sent them to revive the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, what of I? I came to deceive you, or what? That's what Allah is going to ask you. So my brothers, I have no fear, I have nothing to be proud of except that I have books and I can read and explain. The same mentality which I got myself off it 32 years ago, that is citing the crescent for the month of Ramadan. It was written, the book by Professor Muhammad Ilyas. I was in London, I saw it, probably in 1989 or 1990, I bought the book, maybe £1 sterling, because it's a small book, maybe around 50 or 60 pages. I know geometry, I know physics. And I think my basic military training as a cadet, I think they taught us about something on the moon. I can't remember the details. Definitely, because of night exercise. I don't know, truly speaking, I've forgotten. So, the question is, who knows, who doesn't know? Who is ready to shed his ignorance and arrogance that I don't know? Because you must have the books before you know. Nobody is born. There's no inheritance. There's no inheritance. So my brothers, we have to be extremely careful to respect those who know. Not only professionally. I know in medicine who I am. And I know the respect in that particular field of speciality. But not in Islam. There's no respect. It's only insult. That is, who are you insulting? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the terminal point. So, I have here moonsighting.com for the month of Ramadan. It confirms to the instructions, هو الذي جعل الشمس ضياءً والقمر نورًا وقدره منازل لتعلموا عدد السنين والحساب ما خلق الله ذلك إلا بالحق يفصل الآيات لقوم يعلمون. So I have been following this for over 30 years, and despite ICOP disagreement by those who don't understand Islam, don't read Arabic scripts of these former our earlier scholars who revived the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam on fasting. Fasting is critical, and Allah has explained it clearly that it is not actually the physical fasting, it is something in the inner heart. And there is nothing in the inner heart more important, more accepting, more pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and demanding other than respecting Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. You are all jokers. You don't respect Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And what I mean is this example. Ibn Abbas or Abdullah ibn Umar were asked about sitting on the toes during sujood, they said, it is painful. They replied, it is painful? Yes, it is painful because it is the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Look at this. Ali ibn Abi Talib said, if I have an opinion, and which is worthier, more accepting, I will rub the plantar surface of my foot, not the dorsal surface. But Muhammad says, the dorsal to the dorsal. You lack respect, you Muslims. So what is the value of your fasting? Allah says He looks internally at the heart. Your heart is filthy. Disobey Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So what is the value of your fasting? It is zero. Then physically, you don't know. جعل الشمس ضياء والقمر نورا وقدره منازل لتعلم عدد السنين والحساب. You don't know it, the meaning. But Al-Ghazali explained it. And I read it. You disagreed with me. What is the reason? You don't know the time of Fajr. So your fasting is useless, is void. 2. The third one, you don't know even how to break the fasting. 3. So 3 issues. 2, practically, the third one is the inner core, respecting Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He says, very concerned, the month of Ramadan, the month the Holy Qur'an was revealed, sent down. Hudan is a guidance. Bayinat min al-huda wal-furqan. Bayinat, everything is except details. I don't know the difference between bayina and tafsil. Mufassal. I don't know which is weightier. I haven't checked my dictionary. You see the importance of reminding each other. Probably one of you knows the difference between bayina and mufassal and tafsila. Kulli shay fassalnahu tafsila. Maybe bayina is faith. Kulli shay fassalnahu tafsila, that is the sunnah. Could be, I'm right, but even from the wordings, you can make deductions and ikhraj. كل شيء فصلناه تفصيلا كل إنسان أظنه دائره في عنقه. So it is definitely فصلناه is the sunnah. بينات is the iman. والفرقان, follow Furqan. What happened to the Furqan? Why the Furqan? Battle of Badr, surrender of Mecca. والفرقان. Look at this. Why is lie? Who is lying? Why the lying? Why the truth? Here you are joking. So it's not a matter of setting the crescent, which is important, but your iman, which you reject. That who is Muhammad? He is nothing. They are authority superior to Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Because whatever you do, it goes back to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The sighting of the crescent was the prerogative of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam because he stopped fasting the last 2 weeks, month of Sha'aban, to concentrate, to teach, gazing the eastern horizon for the appearance of the moon and then crescent later. Consequently, he says, Don't fast the last week, 2 days or a day of the month of Ramadan. Make it free, distinctive. Don't mix it. But if you are sure of manazil, you can fast. You are nafal, fasting, either on the 29th or the 30th day of Sha'aban, because you are sure. Hakul yaqeen, ainal yaqeen, tahqiqi, ta'yini, not ilm al-yaqeen. Ainal yaqeen, hakul yaqeen. You can fast the last day of the month of Sha'aban. That means today, because of astronomical calculations which you must be extremely careful of, because in Nigeria there are, I think I have forgotten what it was, somewhere around Maiduguri border Lake Chad, you will not sight the crescent, while the rest of Nigeria will sight it. And there's also a time when the crescent will not be sighted at the tip of Port Harcourt. But Sokoto, Katsina, and others, Kaduna, Ilorin, Lagos have sighted it. So you have to be extremely careful using astronomical calculation. It depicts when you sight the crescent and when you don't sight the crescent. But all of this you don't agree. Now, the Saudis have announced today sighting the crescent, but it's not sighting actually with the naked eye. They have made this clear cut when you don't read. And accordingly, today China reported not sighting the crescent. Ghana, India, Indonesia, Kenya, Oman, Philippines, Turkey, United Kingdom, Ukraine started not seeing the crescent. And in Twitter, Iraq and Morocco also announced that the crescent has not been sighted. Today in Kaduna, the western horizon gives way to sighting the crescent. There are rules and regulations to follow. That a single star close to the western horizon. So what are we saying? My question is, if I have the books of those who revived Islam, bringing their people, brothers from darkness into light, then what of my position? وَيَوْمَ نَبْعَثُ مِنْ كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ شَهِيدًا مِنْ أَنفُسِهِمْ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ. I think that is the correct verse. وَجِئْنَا بِكَ وَجِئْنَا عَلَىٰ هَؤُلَاءِ شَهِيدًا. Now imagine in the hereafter I with you. For 30 years in Nigeria I have been preaching. More than 30 years. You are a witness, I am a witness. What are you going to say? That I never told you the truth? Then if Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is brought, what is he going to say? I am a liar, he is a liar. If I am a liar, he is a liar. If I deceived you, left you in the lurch, he did so, because I am not on my own. So the question is that we don't have priorities, because even the scholars in Oman, Iraq, and Morocco, who have disagreed with the sighting of the crescent today, will never answer you on the exact date of Sahur and how to break the fasting. They don't know. Why? They haven't read the books of those certified as revivers, who brings life to the dead, who opens the eyes of the blind. The deaf is made to listen, and the dumb is made to speak. And the terrorism disappeared. No more impoverishment. So what are you saying, my brothers? So the reality is, anybody who thinks that someone is responsible or his weight will be burdened by someone else definitely has not understand an iota of Tawheed. Please let him go back and recite and read, I think, the last few ayats, verses of As-Sad, I think, or Naml. I think it's the one, no, is it Sad or An-Najm? I think it's An-Najm. Understand the discourse between Allah and the Iblis. That Allah said, yes, certainly I will fill the hell with you and the one who follows you. قال فالحق والحق أقول لأمن جهنم منك ومن تبعك فالحق والحق أقول. Look at Allah. فما تحقيق Jahannam. So please try to remove this concept that there's no leader who will mislead you. And the best example again is what happened between Umar ibn Khattab and the Sahabas. He jokingly told them, I will deviate. I will refuse to establish the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I don't know the period or who are those around. Then they said, you Umar, do you know what we shall do? We shall dig a pit. Your height and your width. And we shall force you inside to straighten you. Because it is not tariqah, it is rather mustaqim. Look at this love between a Khalifa and his followers. What of you between your leaders? You don't love them. You are the greatest enemies. Because there is no leader who does not take advice. So my brothers, whether you like it or not, your fasting will not be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Definitely. Because you have bad intention. You don't love one another. You don't have respect of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He gave you every condition that you must be sure the moon is crescent is 29 or 30 days. If you don't know, make it 30 days. You have nothing to lose. And then make up the missed day. If it is 30 days of the month of Ramadan, and it was 29 days of the month of Sha'aban, you pick a day in Ramadan, make it 29, you must know definitely that the month of Ramadan was 30 days, but you, following the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, made it 29. You are free to make up one. The one you missed, make it 30 days. So, my brothers, you had never made any day according to a customary announcement of fasting for the month of Ramadan. You know definitely you don't even care. You don't have the urge. Look at you missing Holy Qur'an. هو الذي جعل الشمس ضياء والقمر نورا وقدره منازل لتعلم عدد السنين والحساب ما خلق الله ذلك إلا بالحق. What is the حقيقي? يفصل الآيات because it is iman. لقوم يعلمون. السلام عليكم.